Hey guys, so a few weeks ago I filmed a video on makeup products that I hate that everybody else loves, and it was so much fun to film the video and read the comments because it's really interesting how makeup works so differently for everybody. There could be a product that everybody else thinks is the absolute best, and then you could try it and you could hate it. And that's what that video was all about, and I asked you guys if you wanted to see the opposite version, which would be makeup that I love that everybody else hates, and a lot of you guys said you were interested in seeing that. So that's what I have for you guys today. In general, whenever I hear about these products, whether it is in my comment section or on YouTube or just in the reviews on like random websites like Sephora and Ulta, people don't generally have a very good experience with these products and they even tend to hate them. So I thought it would be fun. Makeup is so different and everybody has different preferences and different needs. So I always think it's interesting how a product can work so well for somebody and then another person can completely hate it. If you guys have tried these products and you love them or you hate them, let me know what you think. And I would love to hear which products you love that people love to hate on. Let me know in the comment section below, but let's jump into it and kick it off with two palettes. So the first one is the Too Faced Life's a Festival palette. I totally thought this was discontinued, and then I was on Nordstrom Rack's website the other day, which if you didn't know, Nordstrom Rack has a ton of high-end makeup always discounted, so that is a good place to check if you're ever interested in products or limited edition products. But this is still available on the Nordstrom Rack website for $20. So I remember when this palette was released, it was part of a larger collection, and I think a lot of people just kind of wrote it off because they weren't really interested in the theme as a whole, but I did test this out and I reviewed it on my channel and I loved it. There are so many interesting colors in here. There are some like staple matte shades and some shimmers, but there are a lot of interesting duochromes. So when you layer them on top of other shadows, they completely transform the look. So I feel like you can get so many interesting color combinations just using this palette. Or you could take a duochrome from this palette and layer it on top of other shadows from a different palette. And I honestly just love it. I think the shadows are blendable and easy to work with. They're a little bit powdery and sometimes you do have to build them up or layer them for more of an intense look, but overall I just get like a really pretty light shimmery look using this and I think it's great. So if you guys are interested in it, you can get it for $20, but I remember a lot of people hated this palette and just the collection in general. So this next palette is actually discontinued, so unfortunately you can't get it any longer, but this is the Face Candy Atlantis palette. So this was actually created after Tarte released that teaser of their April Fool's palette back in the day, and Face Candy actually took the color story and ran with it and they created this one. I loved this palette and I still love it. I don't use it as much as I should because it really is a stunning palette. I remember a lot of people gave this a very negative review because the shadows are definitely powdery, do not get me wrong, but I think this retailed for like $12, maybe $14. So I was really excited to have a super intense, colorful palette at that price point because when they released this palette, there weren't a lot of other super colorful green and blue palettes coming out. Like now, ColourPop has Just My Luck and their blue palette, so there are other palettes that are available at a lower price point, but at the time, there wasn't really anything like this, and I think that it is so stunning. The metallic shades in here, which make up half the palette, are so rich and vibrant, and they are some of the best metallics that I've ever tried. So those palettes were a little bit older. I actually have two newer mascara releases that are getting some poor reviews that I honestly really like. The first one is the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara. Now, when I do share this as a recommendation, I usually do follow up with a long list of potential cons depending on your personal makeup preferences, because I don't think that this is going to be a mascara for everybody. So I do kind of understand the negative reviews, but if you like a really intense, voluminous, dramatic mascara, you are going to love this one. From the first time that I tried this mascara, I fell in love with it because I like an intense, voluminous, dramatic look. I don't mind a little bit of clumping if my lashes look really bold. I have very, very thin, sparse lashes, so that's why I'm always looking for super dramatic mascaras, and this one really does give me the intense drama that I'm looking for. It is a little bit clumpy. It is a very wet mascara, so I feel like it is easy to go overboard very quickly, so I think that's why a lot of people don't necessarily love it, but honestly, I cannot get enough of this one. Now, the other mascara that I was so excited to try is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Waterproof Mascara. Obviously, the original mascara is a favorite of a lot of people, although I feel like that one has some mixed reviews as well. Not everybody necessarily loves that one, but I could not wait to try out the waterproof version. I think the reason that a lot of people don't like the original is because it does smudge on a lot of people. It doesn't necessarily stay in place all day long. If you have watery eyes or your lashes are long and your mascara tends to transfer, that can happen with the original Lash Princess. So I know a lot of people were waiting for them to come out with a waterproof version, and they did. And I have seen so many negative reviews about this product, so I was kind of nervous to try it out, but after testing it out pretty thoroughly, I was impressed by it. I do have watery eyes, and I always test like my waterproof products at spin class because I feel like if they can hold up in a spin class where it's so hot and obviously you're sweating a lot, then that's a pretty good sign that it is like a waterproof product. And I really do think it's waterproof, but it had so many negative reviews. So if you guys have tried this, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I think that a lot of people really do hate the waterproof version and the original version. So I talk about the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel a lot on my channel because it is one of my staple products. I think that this is such an interesting texture, so I could definitely see why people don't like this, but whenever I talk about it, I usually get quite a few comments from some of you guys saying that you hate this product and it did not work out for you. But it's a little bit more of like a waxy brow gel. So I kind of like compare this brow gel to like a hair pomade, and it's different than maybe like the Anastasia brow gel, which is more like a hairspray. So in my experience, the Anastasia brow gel locks your brows into place all day long. So if you have really thick brows, unruly brows, if you just need your brows to stay in place and not move, that's a great option. I don't love that because I don't have a lot of brow hair. So the reason why I like this one is because it adds a little bit of texture. So I feel like it makes my brows look very fluffy, a little bit more unruly, which I do like. But there's movement. Like they aren't necessarily locked into place all day long. They just look a little bit more voluminous. But if you have a ton of brow hair, if your brows are really full and you are lucky and blessed, then you might not necessarily love this because it might not really do what you want it to. These are the Too Faced Tutti Frutti Fruit Cocktail Blushes. I think these are so much fun. These are really going to be ideal for you if you like an intense shimmery or glowy blush. They do have shimmer in them. Some of them have actual glitter in them, which can translate to the cheeks. So if you are into matte blushes, these obviously are not going to be for you. But if you like a good glowy, intense, shimmery blush, I think you would love them. But they do have pretty negative reviews online. They're very scented, so I could see why people might not like that aspect, but I love the fact that they smell like fruit and they're just fun to wear. They're very intense, very shimmery. They're kind of like one of my go-to formulas for the summertime. But like I said, you can probably find these for a discounted price at maybe like TJ Maxx or Marshall's because nobody seems to like these. So the Too Faced Sweet Peach Glow palette is something that I've had in my collection for a long time. I haven't been able to declutter it. It's made it through so many declutters because it is a palette that I just really enjoy. I need to glue my highlighter back in here. Honestly, mine's probably getting a little bit old. It's an interesting texture. It's kind of like a cream to powder product. So it's not completely a cream. It's not completely a powder. I think that's why I like it because I don't necessarily love cream products. I love powders, but this kind of makes me feel like I'm using a cream, but it's more so like a cream to powder finish. It's very smooth and blendable, and it looks so seamless and natural on the skin. It doesn't look powdery or heavy. It just melts into the skin in such a pretty way. I could see why this would get negative reviews in that it is a very light palette. So it's not going to work for all skin tones, which sucks. It would be nice for them to do a darker version for sure, but I kind of feel like because it has such negative reviews overall, they're probably not in the biggest hurry to make more, but if they took this formula and created single products, I do think it would do well because it's such a nice blendable natural formula. So this is a palette that I love. I've loved for years. I have 3 more products to share with you. So the e.l.f. Baked Blushes are something that I rave about so much on my channel, but I think the e.l.f. Baked products in general don't get a lot of great reviews because a lot of people say that they don't have good color payoff. They're really an interesting texture. I think that you kind of have to work through the top layer on their baked products to get like the best. Like for them to work the best, you kind of have to work off the top layer. I've seen some of you guys say that you literally just scrape off the top layer. I've used mine enough at this point that the top layer is already gone. So once you get past that like initial layer, I find that they work so well. They apply so beautifully. Their baked products in general are a little bit more subtle because I feel, well, I was going to say I feel like a lot of baked products are, but that's not necessarily the case. When it comes to e.l.f.'s baked products, they're a little bit more subtle, but I just think they are so naturally glowy on the skin, and I reach for these over some of my high-end products. So I love these, despite the fact that they do have some negative reviews. Okay, so Bite Beauty recently redid the formula for their Agave lip balm, and I feel like when products are reformulated, they're automatically on everybody's X list who loved the original formula. It does suck when a brand reformulates one of your favorite products, and I feel like this lip balm was a staple for so many people, but they actually reformulated it to create a completely vegan formula because it used to have lanolin in it. I don't know which product they used to replace the lanolin, but I never actually tried the original lip balm, so I don't know how they compare, but I love the reformulated version. It has so many bad reviews online that I hope they don't discontinue the reformulated version, but I could see why people who loved the original might not love the reformulated version because obviously it's going to be a little bit different. I think it smells like maple. It leaves your lips looking glossy and they feel moisturized for hours. Like I can apply this in the morning before I leave the house, and if I come back at like 1 or 2, my lips still feel completely moisturized with this product. So I love it, even though it literally has like some of the worst reviews I've ever seen online. And the last product is not necessarily something that everybody hates. None of these really are. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I do feel like the original Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation has gotten a lot of negative reviews. This is a product that is a staple for me, and there are definitely people that like this product, but I feel like overall it is one of the less liked foundations that I've featured on my channel. When I talk about this product, there are usually like equal amounts of you that love it and hate it. So I'm pretty surprised that so many people don't like this. I think if you don't have oily skin, I could see why it wouldn't really appeal to you because I do think it is very matte. It can have a tendency to enhance dryness, but if you have extremely oily skin, it really is such a nice option because it gives you amazing coverage. It stays so matte throughout the day, and it's very lightweight. It is a very liquidy foundation, so it just blends well, it builds well. Overall, it is one of my favorite formulas, but it does have quite a few negative reviews, and quite a few people just do not like this product. So I think that's it. Okay, that is the end of my video. I feel like I was talking very fast in this video. I got through it very quickly. I think my caffeine just kicked in, so I apologize if it was all over the place, but it was just like a fun topic. Whenever I feel like a video topic is extra fun or I'm super excited to film it, I just feel like I talk so fast and I just speed through it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun filming it. I will see you guys very soon with a new one. Bye.